Good evening, music lovers, and welcome to By Request for the first week in October. Can you believe it? October the 1st? Anyway, appreciate you coming back and viewing the videos, and those of you that are supporting the video and sending me requests, thanks so much and keep it up. But we're making changes in the way that I am doing this a little bit at a time. One thing you have to understand is I don't have a studio or any place that I could film these particular videos from at this point. So I'm doing it in my man cave, in my office area, and hopefully you'll still enjoy the music that I'm doing. As I said, the requests are coming in. In fact, I already have 2 requests for next week that I couldn't get on this week. So you're going to see at least one change this week that I'm going to add, and hopefully it'll be one that you enjoy. Let me say, first of all, thanks to you that have been supporting me, and I want to make sure to always recognize the names of the folks that are supporting and make requests. And so I have several of those today. A couple of them I'm a little nervous about because I don't really know the song, or I don't know the trumpet solo or whatever, and I'm not a big person on practicing things. I feel like if you know it, you know it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the first request I want to get right out of the gate today is from our friend Daniel Scurry. Daniel's been very supportive every week now for the 4th week, and he requested a song that was the title song from an album in 1958 with Frank Sinatra, and the great Billy May wrote the orchestrations and conducted the orchestra. And so I'm going to start off singing the Count Basie Frank Sinatra version of Come Fly With Me. Let's fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay. Come on, fly with me, let's fly away. Come fly with me, we'll float down to Peru. In Llama Land, there's a one-man band, and he'll toot his flute for you. Come on, fly with me, we'll float down in the blue. Won't you get me up there, where the air is rarefied? We're gonna glide, starry-eyed. Once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so near. You might hear a gang of angels cheer, 'cause we're together, weather-wise, it's such a lovely day. You just say the word and we'll beat the birds down to Acapulco Bay. It is perfect for a flying honeymoon, they say. Come fly with me, let's fly away. Once I get you up there, where the air is so rarefied, we're gonna glide, absolutely petrified. Once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so very near that you might even hear gang of angels cheer, 'cause we're together, otherwise it's such a groovy day. Just say those words and we'll beat those birds down to Acapulco Bay. It is perfect for a flying honeymoon, they say. Come on, fly with me, let's fly. Pack up your bags and let's get out of here. Come Fly With Me. Thank you, Daniel Scurry, for that request. I'm actually going to sing another song shortly from the same album. But I want to tell you about the book. It's an amazing phenomenon. Every time I show the book on camera, I start selling it on Amazon. And so this is the book, Harry James Trumpet Icon. And I'm really getting such a great response. Great reviews. Haven't had a negative review yet. And it's the musical story of Harry James. Doesn't deal with all the soap opera stuff. It's all about Harry and his music and how he got to be who he was and all the guys in the band. And there's guys in the band that told stories for me that I could put into the book. I really appreciate guys like Tony Scodwell and Bill Hicks, Tommy Perillo. About 13 or 14 guys had a part in this. Les DeMuro. Anyway, go to Amazon, look up Harry James Trumpet Icon, or just type Harry James in the category of books. It'll show right up there. And get your copy. It's available in paperback and also in a Kindle ebook version. But somebody asked me about my Harry James collection. I can't move the camera since I'm over here, but these top 3, actually 2.5 sections of this particular shelving is all Harry James albums. I have every album that was ever released in Harry's name. I have albums from Spain, Italy, Japan. I can't read the language on the back, but the music's the same. So Harry's been a big part of my life for 52 years. In fact, I had a lady this week, her name was Joanne, and she said, I have a request. I want to hear whatever your favorite Harry James song is. And I appreciate that, Joanne. Thank you. And I had to think about it, but you know, my favorite Harry James song was a song that won the Academy Award for Best Song from a Motion Picture in 1943. And the movie was called Hello, Frisco, Hello. It had Alice Faye and Jack Oakey and all of the regular musical actors and actresses of the day. And it became Alice Faye's theme song. And then in 1943, it was a hit record for both Frank Sinatra and Dick Haymes. And the amazing thing about it was that both of those recordings of You'll Never Know were recorded a cappella. The Musicians Union had called a strike, and musicians were not allowed to go into the recording studio. So both Frank Sinatra and Dick Haymes, I think Dick Haymes, they called them the song spinners, whatever, the backup group. Anyway, you hear the backup singers as they sing in a cappella. But I remember as a young teenage boy starting to play the trumpet. One day, my dad put on a record, and it was, the record was called Hollywood's Best with Harry James and Rosemary Clooney. And the opening notes of that album were the pickup notes to You'll Never Know by Harry James. And that has been with me all through these years. In fact, Harry had at least 5 different arrangements of You'll Never Know in the book. And he recorded it 3 different times. Once in 1952, once again in 1971, and again in 1976. So I'd like to play a little bit of You'll Never Know for you. That's my favorite Harry James song, and thanks for asking for it. I love that song. In fact, when Cheryl and I got married, she said, "Honey, what's your favorite song?" And I said, "You'll never know." And she said, "No, really?" Nah, I made that up. Anyway, you notice I have a music stand, and that's because I'm going to be doing a couple of songs today that were requests that I don't know too loud yet. And let's see, here's one I got from, this is from the same album that had Come Fly With Me on it. And this is a really great, one of the things that made Billy May so great was in his masterful arranging, he could interject humor. I mean, you can hear, you can almost envision Billy laughing as he writes some of the section parts. And this is one of them. This is a song that was written by Joey Bushkin way back in the 1942 era with Tommy Dorsey. And it was Frank Sinatra and Connie Haynes and the Pied Pipers on the original. This is the Billy May version from Come Fly With Me, and so I'm going to have to refer to the words since I've never sung it before. So anyway, this is from a person named Wasatch Wendigo. Now I'm assuming that's an assumed name, but anyway, thanks for watching my videos and for requesting the song. Any minute, boy. Let's take a boat. I'm going to start it again. I got to count. Let's take a boat to Bermuda. Let's take a plane to St. Paul. Let's take a kayak to Quincy or Nyack. Let's get away from it all. Let's take a trip in a trailer. No need to come back at all. Let's take a powder to Boston for chowder. Let's get away from it all. We'll travel round from town to town. We'll visit every state. I'll repeat, I love you, sweet, in all the 48. Let's go again to Niagara. This time we'll peek at the fall. Let's leave our hut, dear, get out of our rut, dear. Let's get away from it all. We'll travel round from town to town. We'll visit every state. I'll repeat, I love you, sweet, in all the 48. Let's go again to Niagara. This time we'll dig the falls. Let's leave our hut, dear, get out of our rut, dear. Let's get away from it all. Thank you to Wendigo Wasatch, or Wasatch Wendigo. I don't know, I got a dyslexia there for a minute. Well, anyway, you'll see down in the description of the video, like every other week, you'll see an email address where you can feel free to send me a request, and I'll do my best to fulfill your request if I can. And if I can, I'll tell you, and I'll give you an opportunity to pick another song. I know a lot of them. And if I don't, I got lyrics on the internet. Anyway, also you'll see a link down there to my PayPal, where if you feel like, hey, that guy's really working hard, I'm going to tip him a couple of bucks. Feel free to do that at my PayPal account. You know, I'm like all the thousands and tens of thousands of musicians all over the world who lost all of our work. Mine really ended back in July. And so this is something that allows me to express myself musically, hang out with you folks, tell a couple of stories, and maybe make a buck or two. So I really appreciate it. Now this next request, I gotta move here. This is from a gentleman named Ron Krause. Now, Ron has been a faithful listener to and viewer of my by request videos since I started them a month ago. And this time I asked him, hey, come on, you like all the songs I do, pick a song. Well, I shouldn't have asked him because he picked a tough one. And I don't know how well I can pull it off, but he asked if I could do Harry's arrangement of Strictly Instrumental. Now, in 1942, Edgar Battle wrote this song, and it really was kind of treated as a novelty number by a lot of the bands. I think Sammy Kaye and just a whole bunch of it, Larry Clinton, a bunch of the what we call commercial bands recorded it. But Harry James had Jack Mathias write an arrangement that featured a question and answer back and forth between Harry and the band. And there was something about it that just made it an instant hit. So I don't have a track on this. So what I did was I picked one of Harry's recordings of Strictly Instrumental, and I tried to reduce Harry's presence on the audio. And it's tough, man, because he had such a commanding presence. But anyway, I'm going to attempt to play the Harry James version of Strictly Instrumental. This is for you, Ron Krause. I hope it's good enough for you to enjoy. Oh, I got dizzy there for a minute. Thank you, Ron, for the request. I hope I did it close enough that you enjoyed it. Well, I said at the beginning of this today that, let me get my paperwork straight, that I'm adding a new feature. And those of you that are serious Sinatra fans, especially those of you that ever got to see Sinatra in person, I was privileged to do that once. And then, or maybe saw one of his many television specials, know that he always had one song that he used to refer to as a saloon song. Now, a saloon song is basically a song that it had to do with a guy whose chick had left and took his debit card and left him with a gallon of Ripple or whatever Frank used to say, Muscatel, I don't know. But it basically, it's a sad song. It's a guy about a broken heart. You know, he's got a broken heart. And so this particular song, man, I haven't done this in a long time. This was written in 1941. And I believe it was Matt Dennis and Bob Adair, I think, were the composers. Anyway, Frank recorded this song with Tommy Dorsey and his orchestra. And then, along about 1957, he recorded it once again on one of his concept albums on Capitol. Then in 1974, Gordon Jenkins wrote a beautiful arrangement of the song, and Frank recorded it during the same sessions that he was doing Some Nice Things I Missed. And Frank rejected the track. He didn't like something about it, so they put it away. And then in 1981, Frank recorded an album called She Shot Me Down. And he addressed this song again with a gorgeous Gordon Jenkins arrangement. And once again, it was rejected. But fortunately, the Sinatra family went back and found it in the archives, and it's a beautiful and sad song about a guy that's left all alone with nothing but memories. And I hope you enjoy my attempt to sing Everything Happens to Me. Never saw a pot of gold. I lost a dice in Vegas every single time that I rolled. I've stamped my daydreams canceled, and the winter's getting cold. Everything happens to me. I've known a lot of ladies, but there's something that I lack. Each time that there's a breakup, I'm the one who holds the sack. And when I give my heart away, I always get it back. Everything happens to me. At first my heart thought you could break this jinx for me, that love would turn the trick to end despair. But now I just can't fool this head that thinks of me. And I've mortgaged all my castles in the air. Now in the school of life, well, I was lucky just to pass. And now I'm chasing rainbows with the losers in the class. Pal, you don't find rainbows at the bottom of a glass. Everything happens to me. I telegraphed and phoned, I sent an airmail special too. Your answer was goodbye, and there was even a postage due. I fell in love just once, and then it had to be with you. Everything happens to me. Thank you. I know to properly execute those kinds of songs, you need a cigarette in one hand and a glass of bourbon in the other, but I don't do either one, so you'll have to just take the music. I hope you enjoyed it. Well, I had a request from someone named Deborah. I wish I knew who some of these folks were. You know, I almost have 4,800 subscribers now to my YouTube channel, and I appreciate so much the support and the viewership. And once again, if you have a request, Chuck Pardue Big Band at yahoo.com. And if you want to throw a couple of quarters at the old man for my endeavors here, there's my PayPal account down there. PayPal me, and I sure would appreciate it. But Deborah asked for a song that I haven't done in many years. And this was it's an amazing song, not only because of Frank's performance, but Nelson Riddle's arrangement. Don't have to tell any of the listeners that Nelson Riddle was one of the probably top 4 or 5 big band arrangers of all time, and orchestral arrangers. And I think it's hard for me to separate out Nelson Riddle and Billy May and Gordon Jenkins and Johnny Mandel. I mean, it's hard to pick one out of that bunch. But anyway, this arrangement was so unique because the arrangement Nelson started with Bill Miller's right hand, just Bill Miller on the piano, and then some percussion gets in, and then Frank comes in. I got to remember to count the measures. And then slowly the band comes in to start to build. And almost from the first note of this arrangement, this performance, there's a constant building like a big snowball. And so I hope you enjoy. Like I said, I haven't done it in a long time. And as I've told you every week, if I make a mistake, as I did earlier, I made a mistake in counting, I leave it in because this is like a live performance. If I'm out somewhere entertaining somewhere, a group of folks, and I make a mistake, I joke about it, we have a laugh, and then I start all over again. So anyway, Deborah, thank you for your request of Look Down That Lonesome Road. Look down that lonesome road before you travel on. Look up and seek your maker before Gabriel blows his horn. Weary toting such a load, trudging down the lonesome road. Look down that lonesome road before you travel on. True love, what have I done that you should treat me so? You caused me to walk and talk like I never did before. Weary toting such a load, trudging down that lonesome road. Look down that lonesome road before you travel on. Look down that lonesome road before you travel on. Look up and seek your maker before Mr. Gabriel blows his horn. I'm weary of toting such a heavy load, trudging down that lonesome road. Look down that lonesome road before you travel on. Look down that lonesome road before you decide to travel on. Look down that lonesome road before you travel on. Look down that lonesome road before Bill Miller travels on. Whoa, so I got a good workout today. Thank you so much for your request. As you can see, I'm crazy enough to try anything. Just don't ask for any, never mind. Anyway, thank you folks, and I hope you come back next week. Don't forget, send me a request, leave your kind comments, keep the bad ones to yourself. Fortunately, I haven't had any bad ones. And if you want to contribute to the Musicians Retirement Fund, even though I'm not retired yet. My PayPal address on there. Feel free to contribute to that. Thank you, and I'll see you again. Next week's show is going to be bigger because I'm going to have more requests. Thank you so much. Good night.